From attempting to reach the Red Planet to the first ever launch of an entirely private crew, SpaceX has done a lot for the tech industry. With all these improvements, we now anticipate that the company will go above and beyond for the benefit of technology. The company's newest project involves linking the SpaceX satellite to T-Mobile's leading wireless network for boosting service, and here's what we know about it. First up, SpaceX and T-Mobile have made a big announcement. The companies revealed their plans recently to connect users' mobile phones directly to satellites in orbit, using Elon Musk-owned SpaceX's Starlink satellites to provide mobile users with network access in some areas of the United States. Musk announced the new plans at a flashy event at his company's South Texas rocket facility. The new plans, which would coexist with T-Mobile's current cellular services, would do away with the need for cell towers. Sounds exciting, right? And not just that, it'll offer service for sending texts and images where cell coverage isn't currently available, key for emergency situations in remote areas. T-Mobile's mid-band spectrum will be utilized by Starlink's satellites to build a new network. The majority of the company's customers' phones will be compatible with the new service, which will launch with texting services by the end of next year in a beta phase. The two companies have the joint vision to provide customers with a vital additional layer of connectivity in areas that were previously inaccessible by cell signals from any provider, from the middle of Death Valley to the Great Smoky Mountains. The service is designed to function with the phone that's already in your pocket. The vast majority of smartphones currently connected to T-Mobile's network can use their built-in radio to connect to the new service. There is nothing extra to buy. It simply works. So, in simple words, you won't have to buy any new phones or something else to use this new technology. But how will this new technology work? From what we know, the companies will build a new network to deliver this service that will use T-Mobile's nationwide mid-band spectrum while being broadcast from Starlink satellites. Nearly everywhere a user can see the sky will be covered by this true satellite-to-cellular service. According to Musk, SpaceX's upcoming Starlink satellites will have larger antennae that'll enable direct connectivity to mobile phones on the T-Mobile network. The first of these satellites is scheduled to launch on SpaceX's upcoming Starship rocket once it's finished being developed. Elon Musk said that SpaceX is building a unique antenna that is supposed to be very big and extremely advanced. He said the important point is that you won't require a new phone. Do we really need this plan to boost connectivity? Despite having powerful LTE and 5G wireless networks, cell signals from any provider are completely absent from well over 500,000 square miles of the United States and large portions of the ocean. And as anyone who has ever encountered a mobile dead zone is aware, the wireless industry has had difficulty covering these areas with traditional terrestrial cellular technology, frequently as a result of land use restrictions like national parks, terrain restrictions like mountains, deserts, and other topographical realities, and America's immense size. People there are either disconnected or must pay a huge amount of money to carry around a satellite phone. These uncharted territories will one day be a thing of the past, according to the shared vision of SpaceX and T-Mobile. And today, the two companies are taking the first step in that direction. By the end of the year, following SpaceX's anticipated satellite launches, T-Mobile hopes to offer customers text coverage virtually everywhere in the continental US, Hawaii, some areas of Alaska, Puerto Rico, and territorial waters. This service will also be available outside the signal of T-Mobile's network. Customers will be able to stay in touch and share experiences almost anywhere thanks to text messaging, including SMS, MMS, and participating messaging apps. The companies intend to pursue the expansion of voice and data coverage after that. Anyways, let's move on to the FCC and SpaceX drama. SpaceX's conflict with Dish Network and the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, over a proposed spectrum allocation for 5G may be related to the former's collaboration with T-Mobile. The FCC considered allowing 5G operators access to the 12 GHz band in January of last year. SpaceX claimed that it used that band to deliver critical downlink services across the US, and that, if forced to share the band with 5G operators, will will result in a 74% total service outage. In addition, the FCC turned down Starlink's request for $885 million in funding from the Rural Digital Opportunity Fund (RDOF) scheme this month. In 2020, SpaceX received a preliminary contract to deliver 100/20 Mbps low-latency broadband to 643,000 locations across 35 states. The FCC chairwoman appointed by President Biden, Jessica Rosenworcel, questioned whether taxpayer money should be used to advance SpaceX's nascent technology and emphasized Starlink's $600 setup fee in her decision to reject Starlink's subsequent application last month. She also expressed concern about the speed drop in recent months. Moving on, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr slammed FCC. President Trump's nominee for FCC chairman and self-described 5G crusader Brendan Carr criticized the agency for withdrawing Starlink's award without first putting it to a vote. The FCC board typically consists of 5 commissioners, as it did in 2020 when SpaceX was first given the RDOF funds. However, there are currently only 4 commissioners, which results in an impasse on crucial issues. 2 Republican nominees for FCC commissioners are led by Carr. Carr suggested that it would be absurd for the FCC to describe Starlink's technology as risky and still developing. Rosenworcel cited a study that claimed Starlink's speeds have fallen off recently, but Carr points out that they had actually been rising year over year. In his press release, Carr also made note of the discrepancy between the FCC's skepticism and the confidence demonstrated by other federal agencies, such as the Air Force. Using lower speed, more expensive FCC-provided internet services, he refutes the FCC's pricing argument and claims that this agency decision will hit taxpayers in their pocketbooks. Now, in other news, SpaceX launches 53 Starlink satellites. SpaceX launched a further 53 Starlink internet satellites from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. The Starlink payloads were launched into orbit by a Falcon 9 rocket, and a reusable first-stage booster landed on a drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. The flat-packed broadband relay stations were intended to be delivered to an orbit between 144 miles and 208 miles in altitude by the Falcon 9 rocket as it made its way northeast from the Kennedy Space Center. About 15 minutes after takeoff, the upper stage of the Falcon 9 released the 53 flat-packed satellites. After takeoff, 9 Merlin engines on the Falcon 9 rocket's 1.7 million pounds of thrust were vectored to steer northeast over the Atlantic Ocean. Once launched, the rocket ran faster than the speed of sound for about a minute before switching off its 9 main engines. To help guide the booster stage back into the atmosphere after it separated from the upper stage of the Falcon 9, the booster stage fired pulses from cold gas control thrusters and extended titanium grid fins. Next up, Elon Musk focused on getting self-driving technology by year's end. Elon Musk said his attention is currently on his SpaceX Starship spacecraft and self-driving Tesla electric cars while speaking at an energy conference in Norway. Getting his Starship into orbit and making Tesla cars capable of self-driving are the 2 technologies he's concentrating on and hoping to complete before the end of the year. Earlier, Musk stated that to maintain civilization, the world must continue to extract oil and gas while also developing sustainable sources of energy. On the fringes of the conference, Musk told reporters, "Realistically, I think that we need to use oil and gas in the short term because otherwise civilization will crumble." He said offshore wind power generation in the North Sea, combined with stationary battery packs, could become a key source of energy. It could provide a strong, sustainable energy source in winter. So we're guessing electric cars really won't be cutting down our fuel consumption. Lastly, the Tesla owner has announced that the Brain-Computer Interface (BCI) startup will host a show and tell event on October 31st. The first significant development since Neuralink unveiled a monkey capable of controlling a video game with its mind last year will be the Halloween update. Musk made the announcement on Twitter on Monday, but provided no additional information regarding the event's specifics. The tech billionaire has previously stated that sometime in 2022, we will see the beginning of human trials for brain chip technology. Neuralink advised earlier this year for a clinical trial director, with the first test participants anticipated to be paralyzed individuals. According to the billionaire, the BCI technology will initially be used to treat people with brain diseases and disorders, before being put into more ambitious uses like enabling human-AI symbiosis. In a company presentation from 2020, he claimed that the chip from Neuralink had had almost limitless potential and could be used to treat paralysis and blindness. You'll be able to save and replay memories in the future, he said. This has a lot of the feel of a Black Mirror episode. In the end, you might download all that into an artificial body or a robot body. Sounds creepy, doesn't it? That's a wrap for this video. What do you think this connectivity boost will do for other mobile companies? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.